My favorite hobby. My favorite hobby is reading books, and I love it because. Hello everyone, my name is Emily, and today I want to talk about my favorite hobby and how it helped me learn English. My favorite hobby is reading books, and I love it because it is fun, exciting, and it teaches me many new things. But the best part is that reading helps me improve my English every day. When I started learning English, it was very hard for me. I didn't know many words and I was afraid to speak. But then I discovered that reading books in English is like having a teacher who is always with me. Today, I want to share with you why reading is so helpful for learning English and how it can help you too. Why reading is important. Reading is one of the best ways to learn a language. When we read, we see words, sentences, and grammar. It's like practicing English without feeling like it's hard work. Reading is also fun because we can choose stories that we like. For example, I love stories about adventures and fairy tales, so I read books like Peter Pan and The Little Prince. These books are interesting and they makes me want to keep reading. The more I read, the better my English become. How reading helps me learn new words. One of the best things about reading is that helps me learn new words. Every time I open a book, I see words that I didn't know. At first, I didn't understand everything, but I didn't give up. I used a dictionary to look up words. Slowly, I started to remember them. For example, when I read a story about a forest, I learned words like tree, river, flower, and mountain. Now, when I see these words, I know that they mean. Sometimes I don't need to use a dictionary because the story helps me understand the words. If a book says, the boy was very sad and cried, I can use that sad means unhappy. This way I learn word when while enjoying the story. How reading improve my grammar. Reading also helps me with grammar. When I read, I see how sentences are made. I learn where to put words like is, are, was, and were. I like also see how to use verb like run, walk, and play in sentences. For example, in one story, I read the girl is running in the park. She runs every day. From these sentences, I learned the difference between is running and runs. Now, when I write or speak English, I remember these examples. Reading is like seeing grammar rules in action. It's much easier to understand grammar when we see it in real sentences. How reading helps me pronunciate words. Even thought I don't speak when I read, it still help my pronunciation. How when I read I hear the words in my head. I try to imagine how they sound sometimes. I say the words out loud to practice. For example, when I read a book about animals, I saw the word elephant. Didn't know how to say it, so I listened to word on many phone. Then I repeated it many times. Elephant, elephant, elephant. Now I can say it correctly. Reading helps me see word and listening helps me say them together. They makes my English better. How reading makes me more confident. Before I started reading, I felt shy about speaking English. I was afraid of making mistakes. But reading gave me confidence. When I read a book, I see how people talk in English. Learn phrases like how are you? What are you doing? Can I help you? Now I use these phrases when I talk to people. I feel more confident because I knew I know I am saying the right words. For example, one day I met a new friend who speaks English. She asked me, what do you like to do? Because I read this question in a book before I understand it and I could answer her. My favorite books for learning English. And if you like this way to learn English, so please like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.